श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय. Sri Sai Satcharitra, an Insight, Episode 131. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan Brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnuhu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In the previous episode, we heeded to the Amra Leela experienced by Damu Anna. This same Leela has been very beautifully narrated by Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji in the Sai literature Life of Sai Baba by quoting instances from the great epic Ramayana. He says King Dasharath was very anxious as he didn't have any progeny. So he consulted his Guru Vashishta to suggest him some rituals that would bless him to get sons. As advised by Guru, Vashishta decided to perform the Putra Kameshti Yaga to have progeny, and this was done under the supervision of Rishi Shringa Muni. As a result, on the final day of the event, a deity appeared from the sacrificial fire and gave a bowl of sweet porridge to King Dasharatha. This was shared among the wives of the king as instructed by sage Vasishta to beget sons, and because of which he got Lord Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. So, for King Dasharatha to get sons, he had to perform this Putra Kameshti Yagna, whereas Damu Anna, instead of doing any yagna or puja, just by merely receiving mangoes from the divine hands of Sri Sai, was blessed with 4 children, says Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji. This reveals the incredible powers of Sri Sai Maharaj, and the same has been depicted by Swamiji in the 587th verses under the 1008 names of Sri Sainath Maharaj, which goes thus: Om Putra Kameshti Yagade Riti Santana Vardhanaya Namaha, meaning salutation to the one who granted progeny to devotees without making them perform the Putra Kameshti Yaga prescribed for it in the Shastras. What a marvelous portrayal of the benedictions showered by Sri Sainath Maharaj upon Damu Anna by Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji. Unless this Leela had stuck to the core of his heart, he would not have been able to write a Sahasranama on this amazing Leela. Devotees, every verse in the Sri Sai Sahasranamavali has a deeper insight, and it is inevitable for all Sai devotees to read and understand them. Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji is proficient enough in exalting the supreme qualities of Sri Sai Baba. His loving devotion for his Guru will be very easily comprehended by every devotee that reads the literary works of Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji. All the discourses and articles that we read or write about Sri Sai Maharaj is only based on Swamiji's work, as every possible detail about Sri Sai Maharaj is compiled by Swamiji in his books. Now, let's learn to another amazing verse from Sri Sai Sahasranamavali quoted in 799th sloka. Om Rasane Kulavardhanaya Namaha. Salutation to the one who gave progeny to S.B. Rasane and developed it. Devotees, every word in the Sahasranamam has a very deeper meaning. It is inexorable for us to not appreciate the excellent usage of the words by Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji. In this verse, Swamiji could have written as Om Damu Anna Kulavardhanaya Namaha. Instead, he used the name Om Rasane Kulavardhanaya Namaha, which means that the progeny was not only granted to Damu Anna alias Damodar Savalram Rasane, but even to his son Dattatreya Damodar Rasane alias Nana Sahib Rasane. Nana Sahib Rasane's son longed to have a male progeny. He beseeched Sri Sai Maharaj and was granted. Thus, the blessings were not only bestowed upon Rasane but to his descendants also. Hence, it is more appropriate to use the term Rasane Kulavardhanaya Namaha. Such enigmatic aspects have been taken care by Swamiji while penning down the Sai Sahasranamavali. Then, while expounding on the Amra Leela, Swamiji has cited reference from Bhagavatam. Let's now heed to the same. Atmadeva was a scholar and an honest man, but his wife Dunduli lacked his morality. Atmadeva was upset about his wife's lack of values. They did not have any children and he wanted to be blessed with a child. So, Atmadeva approached a sage for his blessings. The sage said that he was destined to be childless for 7 births. Atmadeva was devastated and begged the sage to somehow avert this situation. The sage had the power to nullify Atmadeva's destiny. So, he gave him a fruit and instructed that to be given to his wife to eat as she would give birth to a child. But Dunduli was not interested, hence she sought the help of her sister who was expecting. The sister promised to give Dunduli her child. Thereupon, Dunduli asked Atmadeva to go on a pilgrimage and she gave the fruit to a cow. Meanwhile, her sister gave birth to a child and the cow too gave birth to a child, which had ears like a cow. Hence, the child was named Gokarna and the former Dundukari. Gokarna grew up to be a responsible son, while Dundukari fell into bad company, developed demonic qualities, and was eventually killed. Gokarna performed all the last rites for Dundukari but noticed that Dundukari's spirit had not left the earth, instead wandered about restlessly. Gokarna asked Brahma what he should do to help Dundukari attain liberation. Brahma advised the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. At the end of the 7th day, Dundukari's soul departed for Vaikunta. So, it was Gokarna who had the capacity to liberate the soul of his brother Dundukari through his recitation of Bhagavatam and rituals. This implies that all those who have taken birth because of the boon given by great sages that they received in the form of fruits have turned to be God-loving souls, says Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji. There is a reason for me to give more emphasis on this, as Nana Sahib Rasane also turned out to be one of the ardent devotees of Sri Sai Baba. Sri Sai Baba named him as Daulat Shah, and he also got the name Dattatreya Damodar Rasane. This name is very significant as the word Datta means given. The name Dattatreya denotes the one given by the Trinity. Lord Dattatreya is an incarnation of the Divine Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and he himself took a form of a baby in the hands of the sage Atri and Mata Anusuya. Since Lord Datta became the son of the Atri Maharishi, he got the name Dattatreya. Similarly, in Nana Sahib's case, as Sri Sai Baba was given to Damu Anna in the form of a mango, it is more appropriate to have him named as Dattatreya. And this Nana Sahib Dattatreya turned out to be a great Satpurush about whom we will be listening in detail in the coming episode. Damu Anna is not the only devotee who has been bestowed progeny by Sri Sainath by means of giving a mango fruit. There are many others also. Nandaram Sanklecha Marvari is one such. Devotees might be very familiar with his name as his house was one of the 5 blessed houses that Sri Sai Maharaj begged food every day. He had male children, but they all died as infants. This caused great distress to him and to his family members. So, Nandaram Marwari's grandmother beseeched Sri Sai Baba to look after her family as the male children died in infancy. Sri Sai gave her 3 mangoes and instructed to be eaten by Nanduram's wife, and by the divine grace of Sri Sai Baba, 3 male children were born and all of them survived and lived long. This is another astounding Am Leela played by Sri Sai Maharaj. Damu Anna and Nandara Marvari were close friends. During Sri Sai's period, there was vacant land between the present Dwarakamai and Sri Sai Samadhi Mandir. Sri Sai Samadhi Mandir was known as Dagadi Vada or Booty Vada, and it was a separate complex. Similarly, the old dilapidated mosque was known as Dwarakamai, and there was quite a big area of land in between these 2 buildings, and that land was owned by Nandaram Marvari. Damu Anna approached his friend Nandaram Marvari and requested him to provide the land for extending the Shirdi Sai Mandir premises. As suggested by Damu Anna, Nandaram offered the land to Shirdi Sai Samsthan after the Mahasamadhi of Sri Sai Baba. This facilitated the Shirdi Sai Samsthan to extend the Samadhi Mandir Sabha Mandap, and thus it became a huge hall that was befitting to accommodate the enormous devotees flooding for darshan from all over the world. On an average, the number of devotees coming for Sri Sai's darshan would reach up to 1 lakh. Among the various services rendered by Damu Anna, the crown jewel would be this. So, the present Samadhi Mandir Sabha Mandap extension was possible by the recommendation of Damu Anna and offering of Nandaram Marvari. Despite having this vast area, it is challenging for the Samsthan to manage the thousands of devotees gushing into the Samadhi Mandir for Sri Sai's darshan every day. Well, devotees might ponder, what was Damu Anna's personal contribution to Sri Sai's work? He has offered cash to Sri Sai Samsthan on various occasions, and most significant was contributing a huge amount of money for the extension of the Samadhi Mandir Sabha Mandap. The land was contributed by Nandaram, but the construction was taken care by Damu Anna. I would like to pinpoint the exact piece of the space donated by Nandaram Marvari. Prior to taking the darshan of Sri Sai Baba and the Samadhi, we wait in a hall that holds the photographs of the ardent devotees of Sri Sai, and just prior to entering this hall, there is another huge space where the devotees wait for darshan or sit down to sing arati. That portion of the hall is known as Sabha Mandap, and that is the land donated by Nandaram Marvari and constructed by Damu Anna. Shirdi Samsthan had placed a plaque on either side of the entrance to honor the great deeds of the devotees, but most of the time it is hidden behind the big doors, hence, many of the devotees might not have noticed it. The plaque on the right contains three names of the donors. They are Damu Anna, Anna Chinchanikar Trust, Yashwant Galvankar. Damu Anna has always been keen in serving Sri Sai Baba in various ways. Numerous divine sport of Sri Sai experienced by Damu Anna has been portrayed in Sai literatures. Damu Anna was an orthodox person, and he would be partial in his dealings with the weaker sections of the society. A very interesting incident changed his perception, and let us listen to that now. Once, Nana Sahib Dengle, a fervent devotee of Sri Sai, brought a big silver plate full of delicious dishes to offer it to Sri Sai Baba. He came to Dwarakamai and requested Sri Sai Baba to eat the food. At that juncture, Sri Sai screamed out loud, and a black dog from somewhere came running there and licked a portion of the food in that plate and ran away. Though Dengle didn't speak his mind but was dismayed and thought, "Oh, did I bring this silver plate with all the luscious dishes for this dirty dog to eat?" The moment he had this thought in his mind, Sri Sai tossed away the silver plate with its contents towards him and shouted, "Take it away!" Damu Anna was present while this incident took place. Out of curiosity, after a while, Damu Anna went and asked Dengle the reason for Sri Sai Maharaj to throw the plate. Now, Nana Sahib Dengle said, "Sri Sai reacted to my bad thoughts. The moment the dog licked the food, I was very upset and thought to myself that Sri Sai Maharaj has given the food to this street dog. Did I bring all this delectable food on the silver plate to feed that dog?" As soon as these thoughts crowded up in my mind, all knowing Sri Sai read my thoughts and taught me a lesson that we should be impartial not only to people but also to all living creatures. This reply of Nana Sahib Dengle brought a great transformation in the views of Damu Anna, and his attitude towards the needy changed from then on. Thus, Sri Sai Baba imparted a moral to his devotees and then tested if they are adhering to it by another mind boggling miracle, which we shall listen in the coming episode along with other interesting stories. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.